Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. Okay. So welcome to the session on classroom management techniques, right? So here, as we all know that during this session, those who all have joined as participants, including me, we are all teachers, right? Yes. So since we are all teachers, our working domain is the classroom itself. Everyday duty, whatever we are doing, is starting from the classroom. So it is very, very important that we use certain tricks and techniques how to manage our class, right? So in this session, instead of going into the details of classroom management theory, I would just dealing with some techniques which every one of us can use it for controlling on management of class. Okay, so are you ready? Yes, I think many of you have joined in, so I proceed. Now you see what actually is classroom management. Yes, so classroom management is making efficient use of time, resources, space, and students to maximize learning. Because it is our working unit, our workstation. For every teacher is our classroom. So that has to be maintained and managed well. So see, efficient use of time, the 40 minutes time allotted for a particular period. The books or the study material are the resources, and the physical space of a classroom are to be controlled and coordinated within the fixed interval of time. So that includes the classroom management. Now, how you maintain an environment where less learners can learn and teachers, where learners can learn and teachers can teach? Definitely an environment has to be created where maximize learning, because that is the main theme or the main effective work related to classroom management. Teacher goes to the class, and the minimum time wasted in controlling the class is the better, right? So it is a place, a classroom is a place where learners can learn. Okay, so it is also a place where learners can learn and teachers can teach. It is a vice versa procedure. Now, classroom management refers to all the things that a teacher does to organize student, space, and time. So what are the three parameters here that I'm stressing upon? Is the student, that is an inevitable part in a classroom. Yes. Can anybody teach a class without the student? Yes, type yes if you can. Can anybody teach in a class where students are not there? Yes, because class is not a class without the student. Until and unless the students are there, the main Cinderella of the classroom is the student. Even for the school, it is also like that. A school without the student is just a building. A classroom without the students are a room. It's just a vacant room, right? So organize students. You are going to organize the students. You are going to organize the space within the given interval of time, and you are going to stick to the syllabus, curriculum, and so that instructions in content and student learning can take place. What is instruction in content? Can anybody tell me? What is instruction in content? Yes, anybody? Yes, classroom management. See, when we are dealing with classroom management, it is manifested only to the offline teaching, because online teaching, you don't have a classroom as well. That is e-classroom, and that's beyond our scope. Organized planner for completing the syllabus. Okay, but see, whatever we are teaching, if we are following the syllabus, we are following the books, we are following the study material, that is actually a content. And whenever you are evaluating or when you are taking an examination, it is again that content driven. Whatever has been taught, you are evaluating, and even the assessment is based on the content. So our instruction in a classroom is content driven, right? Whichever content can be diversified, it can be digital, it can be paper based, that means books, it can be written on the mm, blackboard, anything, whatever instructions you do, the way you take your class is the content of that particular day. Now see, what is classroom management? Classroom management is a term used by teachers to describe the process of ensuring that, see, I am stressing here, classroom lessons run smoothly. Lessons have to be run smoothly, right? But despite disruptive behavior by student, it is understandable, it is taken into account that the behavior of student would be disruptive. That means when you are entering a class, don't expect that all the children in your class will be quiet and listening to you. No, because they are students, they are children. Yes. So when they are children, see, even a class 12 class and class nursery class, both can be disruptive, but their disruption level is different. Yes. Do you agree with it or not? Disruption can happen anywhere, and it is an integral part of the classroom. Yes. 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 Thank you so much. Okay. So this disruptive behavior is expected, and you are supposed to take into account all this disruptive behavior, and you are going to teach your class in a very smooth and effective way. That is how you manage your class. See, classroom management is depending, see, there is no hard and fast rule how to manage a class, but individualistic management is always felicitated, right? That means every teacher has got its own style of managing the class. Yes or no? Just tell me in the chat box that classroom management techniques is. Yes. Obviously, every one of us has got our different way of managing the class, but there are certain core rules that I am going to deal with it today. Now, you see, classroom management is very important. Why? Why is it important? Because that is the main job that we are appointed for. Yes. Now, it creates the right condition for learning, leading to a positive learning environment and experience. See, when this academic time, that means the time allotted for teaching and the time allotted for learning for the student, if is wasted, it is an academic loss. Yes. Now you see, so the right condition, a good time classroom management is very important because it creates the right condition for learning, leading to a positive learning environment. Now, what is the character for that? See, the importance of teacher is very, very important, right? So, what is the characteristics of an effective teacher? See, everybody can be educated, but everybody cannot be a teacher. Do you agree with me or not? Yes, I repeat again that everybody can be educated, higher educated, but to become a teacher, you need to have specialized skills for it. Yes, apart from the academic. So there are certain characteristics of an effective teacher. Now, what are these? Because of the complexity of teaching, of individual variation among students, effective teaching is not like one socks fit for all socks. Yes, that means what? Every individual in the classroom has got a different learning style. See, we have already dealt with so many learning styles, you know, that work. Visual learners, audio learners. Yes, VARK. Then reading, writing, children who can read, learn through reading. And teacher must master a variety of perspectives and strategies and be flexible in their application. So when we are following a strategy, it shouldn't be that we are very rigid and we are going to follow only one method. There are various methods, right? So you have to master a variety. That means you have to keep many hats of different shades so that that is applicable for the particular condition. Now, see, we were dealing with an effective teacher. So effective teacher has to master various methods of applying their plan. So when we talk of effective teacher, there are certain criteria, right? So first is the personal qualities of a teacher, professional knowledge and skills. That is also very, very important. And the commitment and motivated. See, earlier also I said that anybody can be educated, well educated, highly educated, but that does not mean that particular person is an effective teacher, right? So there are certain criteria that has to be, you know, kept into mind when we are dealing with, say, personal qualities. See, when we are dealing with personal qualities, it is very, very important because here, you know, the teacher and the student, the connection, the rapport has to be made with it. So when we are dealing with personal qualities, the first and the primary quality coming is be caring. See, caring is one of the things. Caring does not mean that you have to snuggle, you have to hug that particular child. No, your behavior, your concern for that particular child or your concern for the student is a caring quality. Now, in that, I don't want to go into the detailed core, but we have attached teachers and detached, based on the qualities of teaching. So what is attached? Attached means somebody who is attached to the student. What is attached? That means caring. And another, the next point, caring. That means things, takes care of the well-being of the student. And you know, this as NEP 2020, we all know that it is student-centric, child-centric. So definitely here, if you have a segregated community of 40 children, a teacher has to pay attention to every 40 individual in the class. It is not only those are old taboos, you know, that first benchers and last benchers. For us teachers, every bencher is equally important to us, whichever physical position the child is taking in the classroom, right? Whichever bench, whichever row the child is sitting, we have to keep in mind that each and every children in my class is very, very important. And here, the first quality is caring. Whether the children are doing their homework, even the first primary thing, the child is coming to school regularly or not, the child is attending the school regular or not, is also a primary quality that showed that the teacher is caring. Yes. Now, be proactive. What is proactive? That means the individual vision you should foresee beyond, right? Personal vision over teaching and learning. That means you should be prepared for how your things would be turning. For example, yes, somebody is typing, the audio is clear, but only you check your audio connection at your end, but my end, it is everything, internet connection and speed, everything is okay. Okay, so you do check it. So personal vision over teaching and learning, that means, for example, if you are giving a sum, or if you are giving a particular equation, or if you are teaching a particular chapter, you know which part would be difficult to understand to your children. So keeping that in mind, whenever you are formulating your lesson planning or whenever you are going to the class, you should be prepared for these pros and cons. Now begin with the end in the mind. Yes. This means what? Since you are a teacher, Your experience has taught you many things. Yes. So whenever you are doing something, when you are giving an homework, giving a classwork, giving a project work, or you are taking your classes, you should know, you should be very much prepared about your learning outcomes, because the learning outcome is very, very efficient, very, very effective in defining a quality of a teacher. Yes, children should learn what you teach. And again, that personal leadership. Teachers play a role model. You see small children when they are imitating their teachers in their very early childhood days, isn't it? They sometimes imitate, Miss जैसा बनना है, Miss ऐसे बोलती. Sometimes they even dress up like the teacher and take classes with the toys. Yes. Why? Because you are a role model to your children. Yes. Put first thing first, personal management. That means what? You should be prepared when the your assignment should be given. What is the date for correcting the assignment? Even if you are giving the classwork, you are giving the homework, you should be checking that. Isn't it? Your syllabus should not be lagging behind. So this is also a personal management. And think win-win. What is think win-win? Every time you should know that whichever formula or whichever policies or whichever way you want to take your class, it should be effective, right? Now you see, this is also a very, very important quality. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Sometimes sometimes we don't bother to listen to our children. Yes, we think yes or no. Sometimes we are in great hurry, or sometimes we are in burdened with lots of work syllabus, or keeping in mind the forthcoming examination or board exam. Sometimes we ignore. Yes, that is also a very, very bad thing on our part. We shouldn't be doing that. We are not, everybody cannot be an ideal, but near to ideal is possible. Yes. So empathetic communication with students. See, harsh communication. See, what you give, you get back. Nowadays in schools, not only in my school, not, I don't want to generalize that, but generally in every schools, we find a very much, very, erratic behavior, very much arrogancy. And we say that they are indisciplined, right? They answer you back, and we complain about it. But first thing is, we should point this to ourselves. Are we empathetic? Whenever a child is communicating to you, it is our responsibility to communicate, to listen properly, and be polite as much as possible. See, if you are talking to somebody politely, the person on the other end, whichever person it is, yes, will think twice to answer you rudely. It may happen with the parents also. So you have to get into it, that empathetic communication. Yes, that concern should be in your voice. Synergize. It is creative cooperation. You need to be cooperative with your children, and you should know what is the trend of your children, how quickly they understand, because it is children are different, some are slow learners, some are quick learners, right? So we need to be very cooperative. And when we are giving the homework and classwork, it should be divided in such a way that every one of us is benefited, every child is benefited, right? Building a teacher student relationship, that is a social interaction. This is very, very important, because until and unless you create a community of trust in your classroom, an effective teaching learning process cannot carry on. So that trust has to be created. Okay. And the teacher student relationship, it is a bond that you have to create it, and it is also a personal skill. It is your skill that works here. Every individual, every teachers are different, their teaching styles are different, and the social skill of teachers are also individual. No two teacher have this skill like similar, isn't it? So it is how effectively you use your skill to create a relationship is the better for you. Now you see, after that, professional knowledge and skill. See, this is inevitable. A teacher cannot be a teacher without the professional knowledge and skill, because this is the academic qualification of a teacher that will help that particular teacher to deliver the content that is given in the books. For example, a maths teacher should be well skilled and well knowledgeable with mathematics to teach the children. Yes. Now, sometimes, it happens to us. Yes. If the teacher is not well knowledgeable, well skilled, then what will the teacher teach? So this is very, very important. The professional knowledge and skills are very, very important. And here 100% should be there. No shortcut method. If I am a physics teacher, if I am a biology teacher, my knowledge will be profound and the child should be satisfied with my teaching. I will have the ability to satisfy my children with my knowledge and wisdom. We should be that way skilled. Now, subject, what I was telling is subject matter competence. Now, having a thoughtful, flexible, and conceptual understanding of the subject matter is indispensable for being an effective teacher. Here we have no shortcut. Subject understanding should be very, very clear. The concept, for example, if I am taking up mathematics and my concept about algebra is not clear, so what will I teach? And here I will be fooling the children, I will be fooling the management, as well as fooling the parents as well. And it will not be able to continue for long. Do you agree to me? Yes? If yes, if you agree to me, please type yes in the chat box. Yes, definitely. Yes, thank you all so much, because that is what the core thing that is required. Yes. So in their wish list of teachers' characteristics, social students have increasingly mentioned teachers' knowledge of their subject. Definitely children discuss, oh, that sir, he's so knowledgeable. He is a very good maths teacher. He's a very good English teacher. She is very nice with geography. Why? Even with music and drawing also the same thing is applicable, because we as teachers, we are known for our subject matter, and the subject matter should be profound. Now you see, instructional strategies. Now how you instruct, this is also very, very important, because the way you are teaching depends on your teaching style, your communication skill. The direct instructional approach. This is a very, very effective way. What is direct instructional approach? Your instruction should be very clean and clear, and that is understood very easily in the other end. It is no if and but. No confusion. So direct instructions. When you are instructing in the classroom, the instruction should be very, very clear. It is easily understandable. Now you see constructivism. Constructivism is a very important topic, and many of you have done with the CBSE also in this topic, right? So what is constructivism? It is an approach to learning which emphasizes that individual activity construct knowledge and understanding. That means always it is a positive learning, in one word. So if you are inculcating this constructivism in every subject, obviously there will be very few areas where children will not learn something, because it is something 100% effective way that the child will be learning. Okay, because constructivism is something, it is a positive approach towards learning. Now what is collaboration? Collaborative learning. What is collaboration? Children working with each other in their effort to know and understand. That is very, very, we know that peer association, peer learning, what teachers cannot explain, student to student, if they communicate, they learn better, right? It is not that it is our fault or we are losing something, but peer association is a boon in teaching learning technology. We we need to use this. And children working together, we are teaching them social skills also, because human being is our human beings are all we are all social individual, right? We cannot stay alone. We don't want to stay alone. We cannot live alone rather, right? So if we are cooperative with the society, we if we are cooperative with each other, if children are taught to help each other, collaboration is really a boon. Now nowadays, this education system, we are taking inclusiveness in a common classroom, right? So those children, if they if you merge those special children with the normal children, you have a better result. Yes. Okay. Now you see, what is a goal setting and instructional planning skill? See, effective teachers set high goals for their teaching and organize plan for reaching those goals. For example, what are teaching goals? Can anybody tell me? What do you mean by high goals? What are the goals that we set for as teachers? Anybody? Yes. What are the high goals that, what are the goals that we are setting in a classroom? Let me see. Effective learning. Yes, the effective learning is a goal. For example, see, I'm to be very discreet. High goals means what? You have to complete this particular syllabus. Yes, yes. Somebody, effective learning. Yes. Syllabus completion. Yes, definitely understanding the concept. For example, you have dedicated 8 days to a particular chapter or to a particular topic, and within that 8 days, if the child has learned, your learning outcome has been achieved, that means it is your goal is accomplished. Yes, yes, learning outcomes, definitely. And thank you, it means achievement, definitely. Thank you so much for, yes, 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 the chat box is moving off very fast, but thank you so much all for such wonderful responses. Thank you. So develop specific criteria for success. Yes, because success is not something that if the child getting 90, it is success, and child getting 40, not success. No, marks cannot be, categorized with success. But if every individual understands a particular topic taught by you, it is your success. Yes, they organize their lesson to maximize student learning. Yes, if you have 40 children in your class, and in that 40, 30 children can do the work on their own, so it is your achievement. Yes, that is the learning outcome. They plan to make learning both challenging and interesting. Yes, everyday classroom is a challenging one. Yes, it's a very challenging one, because it is see, you may have learned the topic very nicely, you may be a master of that particular topic, but until and unless you make your children the master of that particular topic, you get a big zero in your learning outcome. So obviously, to make the other end understand as good as you have understood is definitely a challenging, and it is an interesting one, because we are not here by default. We are teachers by choice. Yes, so obviously, to make the lesson understandable, to make it interesting, is also a role of an effective teacher. An effective teacher can do all these things very effectively. Now you see, classroom management skills. In that, an effective teacher keep the class as a whole. We do not segregate them as first benchers, back benchers, slow learners, or quick learners. We don't segregate them, but we are taking the class on a total, working together and oriented towards classroom tasks. If I give a task, if I design or if I plan any assignment, that particular assignment should be equally important to all. Now, sometimes, we divide the assignment for that hots and lots. Hots means, yes, that higher order thinking and lower order thinking. Children who are quick learners will be given a much different topic. So we divide, we bifurcate a particular assignment and we give, and that is also that thought process of dividing the task and making it equally important for every children is also a classroom management technique by an effective teacher. So, and effective teachers also establish and maintain an environment in which learning can occur. That means classroom management, how to control your classroom. You might be very much educated, you have many degrees with you, but when you are entering the classroom, the class is shouting. It is not controlled by you. So that's not good. Yes. So you have to establish and maintain an environment in which learning can occur. See, you cannot teach a howling child. If the child is crying, he will not be able to learn. If the child is shouting, he's distracted, he will not be able to learn. Rather, you will not be able to teach. So how to manage, how to class control is also a very, very important criteria. To create such optimal learning environment, they establish rules and procedure and organize groups, monitor and pace classroom activities and handle misbehavior. See, handling misbehavior is a very, very integral part, because children with disruptive behavior, children with misbehavior will happen. It's a natural part. But how you overcome and continue with your teaching process is your effectiveness in handling a class. Now, finally, we come to the motivational skill. See, teachers play a role model. I have said earlier also. So, role model means we have the capacity to motivate. What is motivate and what is demotivate? Please tell me what is motivate. What is motivational skill? Yes. Somebody please tell me what is motivate. See here, effective teacher helps student to inspire. Yes. Encourage. So many lovely words I'm getting. Yes, inspiration. Yes, thank you so much. So that means what? A teacher has a great role to inspire the child to love a certain subject. Do you agree with me or not? Yes. Sometimes children fall in love with the subject. मुझे geography बहुत अच्छा लगता है. So that for initially the credit, see, apart from the personal aptitude, the credit goes to the subject teacher to create interest. And see, if once interest is created, we create self-motivated learner who is going to learn by themselves. See, that self-motivated learner or self-learners are needed in every school, because we want learners who can learn by themselves. But if the children thinks that they are not self-motivated learner, again we'll apart from topic, the child will be going into those coaching cultures where self-motivated learning is not required. Do you agree with me or not? Somebody else will be giving and doing the work for them. So we don't want those. We want self-motivated learners or self-learners. So once the motivation come, the learning procedure is sustainable. Sustainable for a lifetime. We get a lifetime learner. Students are motivated when they can make choices. They are in the line with their personal interest. Now see, career guidance. When we are doing career guidance, career counseling, the children has to be, the children has to face the bare truth that this is the reality. And if I want to take up subjects, I am going to follow only these subjects. If this is weak, for example, if my maths is weak, I shall never be taking up science, or I shall never be going on for accountancy. Yes. Right? So that personal motivation. See, if you sometimes, we motivate the child by telling you, I know you can do it. And I know you are going to score this above 90 in your exam. I know that. So that your simple telling that I know that you can do it is a very simple way of motivating or encouraging. And the child will get self-confidence. Boosting the self-confidence. Yes, you don't lose anything. As a teacher, you don't lose anything by motivating, but the child gains a lot. Effective teachers give students the opportunity to think creatively, deeply about project works. Yes, even if you are great. See, that creative thinking and critical thinking, it all depends on your motivational skill. Motivation can move mountains. Yes. So the motivational skill, yes, you can and you will definitely. Thank you so much. Yes. So that motivational skill is also a very, very important part of an effective teacher. So you are going to use the tricks and techniques. And finally, you see communication skill, how well you communicate is making you an effective teacher. Now, see, what is it? Communication skill. Communication skill means the way you are talking, the way you are dealing with your children. See, critical not only in teaching but also in interacting with parents. Definitely. See, in parents teacher meeting, sometimes, if teachers are talking very rudely to the parents, what will the first reaction will be? What you give, you get back, right? So you get a very aggressive interaction with the other end, even with the children also. I said, when you are managing behavioral management, if your communication is empathetic, you will control misbehavior by 90% in the classroom. So effective teacher uses good communication skill when they talk with students, parents, and administrators. Yes. Yes, communication is always two-way. Yes. Thank you. So when you are talking with student, the same thing should apply. We shouldn't be rude. We should not be aggressive. It should be always empathetic, right? We should earlier also I said that we should understand first, then to be understood, right? So parents also we are going to deal with it. Why? Because you see, parents, they have a voice, they have a choice. Do you agree to me or not? Parents have a voice and a choice, because in this competitive market, schools are plenty. Why with you? Yes. So you have to create an environment where the parents should feel dignified and they think, oh, my children are in the right hands. They are in the right place. And with administrator, I would say, dare not. With your administrator, if you are not talking properly, you know what's going to happen to you. Yes. So there also effective teacher uses good communication skill, and effective teacher keep these three things under their control: student, parents, as well as the administrator. So they keep criticism at a minimum. Nobody likes criticism, do you? Yes. Can anybody tell me, any of you like criticism? Do you? I don't like. And what about you? No. See, we don't like, right? So even our children and our parents also don't like criticism. Yes, thank you. So even as children and parents also, they do not like criticism. But that thing, we should be assertive. We have two type of sentence, that negative things, nobody see. Your child's writing is very bad, nobody can read it. Instead of telling that, this little improvement can be done with the writing child. If you improve your writing, you will be the best. So two different words, I said the same thing. Yes. So that is why criticism should be very minimum, because in your social lifestyle also, within the society also, if you criticize your neighbor, if you criticize your friend, nobody will want to be with you. And as effective teachers, even within the school domain also, if you criticize a colleague also, colleagues will also go away from you. So they have an assertive rather than aggressive. That aggression should not be, because schools are anger free zone. Manipulative or passive communication style. See, sometimes, when you are communicating, your communication should be manipulative. That means in both way, you are not disruptive anybody, right? Technological skill. So nowadays teacher, cannot go without it. See, being an effective teacher develop technological skills and integrated computers integrate computer appropriately in classroom learning. Yes. Now see, what we are doing here is also a technological skill. Yes, I sitting here, I'm communicating with so many of you there. So that means some tech, and you are all have joined in. So obviously that simple technological skills is there in everybody. And nowadays, you know, all knows how to search Google for knowledge sometime when you are stuck. See, we are not human computers. Okay, sometime to be sure, it is always to be sure than just saying anything wrong. So that time also, you know, we should know that when you are typing in the Google, you get the right answer. So that much technological skill we all know, and whoever is there, we can always improvise it. Improvisation can take place in any corner. Now you see, they know how to use and how to teach students to use computers for discovery and writing. See, this we don't have to teach our children of now this present generation, because children are born with the 21st century skill. So they know this. Whenever you give them to write an essay, they know which areas to get into it, right? Chat GPT and what. They know the effectiveness of instructional games and computers simultaneously. They know both. Parents come and tell us, my child is always there with the phone. Please tell them not to play games. So technologically, they are much smarter and much ahead of us. So we should also improvise ourselves. Now see, this is something that is very, very important. Commitment and motivation. See, if we are a teacher, we are committed to our profession, right? We are committed to our profession. We are committed to the management, and we are committed first and foremostly to our student for teaching them something, right? Now see, what is commitment? This includes having a good attitude and caring about student. Yes. Now, each day, effective teachers bring a positive attitude and enthusiasm in the classroom, which helps make the classroom a place where students want to be. Yes, we have so many children, you know, sometimes they don't want to come to the school. But who is responsible for this behavior? It is again we and only we. Sometimes we cannot create that much interest in that particular child so that he comes to school. So that effective teacher makes the classroom a place where students want to be. A better teacher you become, the more rewarding your work will be. If your classroom is effectively, nobody needs to be given the reward of a best teacher by somebody else. You know, when an effective classroom goes on, a successful classroom. Yes, some days this happens, you know, that you gave your 100% and you are much satisfied with what you have done today. So that day you get the best teacher award in it yourself, right? This is very important. You see, the more respect and success you achieve in the eyes of your student, the better you will feel about your commitment to teaching. It is only the student that gives you the reward. Yes. Now you see, when we are taking classes or when we are teaching or when we are in this profession of teaching, student creates an image of the best teacher and worst teacher. Yes, many of us has the image of the best teacher and worst teacher, and you know, it varies. Do you have the image of best teacher and worst teacher? Please let me know in the chat box. Best teacher and worst teacher? Yes. Yes, definitely. Because again, when you are teaching in your classroom, you are also creating history. Students are creating memories in their mind. They have the image of the best teacher and worst teacher. So, do you like to be in the memory of best teacher, or do you like to be in the memory of worst teacher? Yes, how many of you want to be the best teacher? And how many want to become the, yes. See, we don't want to be worst teacher, right? Yes, creating best for children. Yes. So we want to create a good image, right? So this I will skip. Okay, characteristic of best teacher. Now you see, what are the characteristics of a best teacher? What are the criteria that makes an individual see a sense of humor? See, when you are in the classroom, it shouldn't be dull and boring, more not interesting at all. So that sense of humor, when you are compassionate, yes, definitely, and make the class interesting. When we are dealing with 5E lesson plan, first word is engage. That means that first E, that is engage, it comes from making the classroom interesting also. Having knowledge of their subject. I said subject knowledge is very, very important and it is primary. Explain things clearly. This is also very, very important. See, for the best teacher, you have to be best in your subject matter. You have to be best in explaining things clearly. Spend time to help the students. Yes, whenever the student wants your help, you should be always there for those children. They are fair to their student. You should be always be fair. What is fair to their children? That means impartial. You should be impartial. Treat students like adults. That means sense of respect. If you respect the children, children is automatically going to respect you. Yes. Creating the best. Yes, definitely. Relate well to the student. Definitely. That is also very, very important. And are considerate of students' feeling. See, when once I said, that when you are in the classroom, you are going to consider what is first. So if you see some child is sick, at least before you get into your classroom teaching, at least you can be very much concerned and ask what is wrong with the child. If you see that child needs any medical help, do the needful, then you carry on with the classroom. Yes. So that consideration is there. Don't show favorism towards students. That is very, very important. If that child is living beside my house and all the best marks would be given to him, no matter what the child is doing. Yes. So these things, if any one of us is doing, should be stopped. Now, worst teacher. So those were the characteristics of the best teacher. Now let me see what are the characteristics of a worst teacher is. A very boring classroom, blah blah blah. The classroom goes and the children, either half they will be half children will be sleeping, half children will be dozing without making any noise. See, a quiet classroom and an interactive classroom, two different words. A quiet classroom is not only may not be a very interesting one, it might be a boring classroom also. So don't see, a worst teacher, do not rough language. Yes, that language is also there. Okay, don't explain things clearly. पढ़ाया नहीं, समझाया नहीं, तो teacher किस बात का? Yes. Show favorism towards the student. हाँ, this particular child, okay, ये बगल में रहता है, मेरे पास tuition पढ़ता है, so I will go with it. So it's always a no taboo to them. Have a poor attitude. Yes, very arrogant. सुनता ही नहीं है बात को. So obviously, poor attitude is there. Expect too much from the student. Oh my God, I thought you are going to do it yourself. You have no brains at all. Sometimes teachers speak like this. I'm not saying that you are doing that, but there are teachers who expect too much. That means a chapter that teacher has explained, she only knows how he or she has explained, and then finally will be expecting that the children will be completing it. And if not, oh my God, you all are donkeys. I don't know what is in your brain. There are many of them. I've heard so many doing the same thing. So we don't want to do that. If we are doing, it's time to change. Yes. Don't relate to student. Yes, detached. Whatever the child is doing, let them do. I will come to the class, take the class, and I'll just go over. My time is done. So that is not the way. Too much of homework. See, that is also a very bad thing, which we think should be given in balance. And very strict. That strictness, I create an aura around myself. Okay, I'm Miss and Mr. or Mrs. Perfect, and nobody can talk to me. Dare not open your mouth. So these are all qualities of a bad teacher, worst teacher. Don't give individual attention. So see, this is also a quality. Lack control. I am in the classroom. I cannot control my class. So obviously I am not fit to be a teacher. Yes. Now you see, what are the teaching strategies for becoming an effective teacher? There are few ways. You see, effective teaching requires teachers to wear many different hats. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if you have good subject knowledge, excellent teaching will follow. I said earlier also, being an effective teacher requires many diverse skills. I might be knowledgeable, but if I'm not giving my 100%, children are not understanding what I am teaching. So I am a big zero. I'm not an effective teacher, right? So, and you see, effective teacher wears many different hats. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if you have good subject matter knowledge, excellent teaching will follow. Being an effective teacher requires many diverse skills. Definitely, we need to know that. Many diverse skills. Now, see, you want to be the very best teacher you can possibly be. Put yourself in student shoes and think about how they perceive you. Think about what they need from you to improve their academics and life skill. Put your heart and mind in helping them construct these skills. Obviously, every time, for example, sometimes we take it for granted. Arey, ye bahut easy hai. You can easily do it. Pata nahi, why couldn't you do that? See, if sometimes, they are learning for the first time, it's creating a confusion in their brain. Yes. So you need to understand that since they are learning this particular topic for the first time, these are the areas of doubt that I have to clear, and I should be thinking that I am also one of them. Yes. Think about what they need. उसे क्या चाहिए to improve their academic result. किसी को, you cannot do it. आप बहुत poor marks लाए हो. देखो आप क्या कर सकते हो. This is not the way. See, hand holding effort should be there. You know what is hand holding? Hand holding means what? You have to help that particular child, catering to the individual need of the child, academic needs of your child. Yes. So you have to put your heart and soul into it to develop the academics. Now, 3 characteristics of an effective teacher. See, positive expectation for student success. Yes. What is student success? Positive expectation for student success. What is that? My expectation should be positive if I expect about the learning outcomes. Yes. Whatever I am teaching, I expect my children to do that completely. It is is an extremely good classroom manager. Who is an extremely good classroom manager? If you can follow all these skills together, if you follow this technique, excellent. You are excellent in a classroom manager. Now knows how to design lesson for students mastery. Your lesson should be very simple form. Isn't it? Your assessment should be in such a way that you bring out the best thinking from your children. Yes. So these are the 3 characteristics of an effective teacher. Now, what is positive expectation? Positive expectation means what? There is absolutely no research correlation between success, family background, race, national origin, financial status, or even educational. Yes. If the parent is very much educated, that does not mean that the child has to be that much affected. Yes. That then otherwise, every doctor's son would have been a doctor. Every poet, every poet or whoever is a literary genius, their sons would have done that. So there is nothing like that. There is absolutely no research that correlates that success has to come from the family background, race, national origin, financial status, or even education. Sometimes we see that children coming from a very humble background can crack the top position in the board examination. There are so many great examples of there, isn't it? And even, so many great personalities also are coming from very humble background, and they have reached the zenith of their success. Yes, so many scientists we have, so many, uh, you know so that is the reason, if we are having a positive expectation, this is absolutely wrong. If we are expecting that this child is rich, so he has become good like that. So these things, we generally in the classroom we do not see those family background, but sometimes, still, if children coming from big family background does not mean that they are going to be great achievers in their life. So that has to be taken into. Now, what is this? There is but one correlation with success, is that attitude. So, if you are creating the right attitude in your children, I don't think so that your children will not be successful in their life. Yes. So, now when we are as classroom management, our main goal is our success for the children. These are the few points. You do not get a second chance at first impression. So you are going to create a positive impression when you are first kisi class mein gaye, the first day in the class, first day in the school. Yes, this is not what it is, but what is perceived. See, you might be very much educated, but if you cannot give your 100%, the children will perceive you that you don't know. Yes. So that is what, that it is not what it is, but what is perceived. You dress for your main effect. What are the main effects? That is dressing. That means you prepare yourself. Credibility, acceptance, authority, and respect. Yes, this authority word, see, throughout the session, I had been telling that your communication should be empathetic. You should be thinking about the, you're thinking concern. You should show concern. You should be caring, but you shouldn't be losing your authority, because your students can never become your friend. Yes. So that difference, that gapping, that difference has to be maintained and created by you. Being authoritative does not mean that I should be very rude. Authority, the first day when you are in the class, if first impression is the last impression, first time only you can make it clear that what you want, what is expected. When I am talking, I don't want anybody to talk. If you want to talk, you just raise your hand. Yes, nobody should be coming out of their space when I am within the class. Children are expected to be seated in their place and listen to me carefully when I am here. So these are something, that you can always prove your authority, because again, you are the teacher and they are your student. So 100% that authority, this authoritativeness has to be forecasted. The thing is, you cannot be friendly, too much friendly with your children. You should be caring. You should do all those other things. But that friendship word should not be with your friend. We can have a positive, friendly relation. We can be friendly, but they cannot be our friend. Yes. And the word respect is, if you respect others, that respect will come back to you. So, what is an ideal teacher? Who is an ideal teacher? So observation of teachers over a good many years indicated that the personality of a teacher is a key factor in success or otherwise. Traits and skills which students appear to value and indicated below. So what are these? Ideal teacher, expert. Again, I said that subject knowledge is 100% required. In teaching role, well organized and well prepared. You should be confident, open to suggestions. See, suggestions are always entertained. Other viewpoint, you should be flexible and approachable. That approachability should be there. I said you should be authoritative also, but as well as approachable. Children can approach you whenever they need, is interested in individual student and spend time with them, and is consistent in the treatment for everybody. So is consistent in behavior, always fair and always even tempered. You are not supposed to lose your temper. Is friendly with a sense of humor, share student for teaching aim and objective, students as individual, their strength and their weaknesses. That is a very incredible part. You should know what is your strength, what is the strength and what is their weaknesses. Communicate well in a variety of modes, leads well with appropriate pace, is flexible and willing to change the approach, and gives feedback with an appropriate time scale. So giving the feedback is very, very important for an ideal classroom management. So I think with this, I have come to the end of the session. And thank you all so much for being so cooperative. Okay, so here I ended. Thank you so much.